You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
Coach is here. Coach is here. Coach is here.
That's right. Spoiler alert. We've got Kyle, the Coach Duggan.
I'm sitting over here. My legs are like twitching. I don't. It's like I'm ready for the like national anthems playing. I'm ready to go.
Hey. All right, gang. Well, we are in the week. Again, we have an episode prior to some big stuff happening. That is,
Of course.
training week. So we've got clearly lots to talk about before the guys hit the field and practice, and you all get to see them, those that are able to do such a thing. We've got a big episode lined up, folks. We've got a very special Bolt Insight and an Ask Boltfam lined up. And
It's like mid-season form level of Ask Boltfam.
I'm just scrolling through this thing, and it is
awesome.
Disgusting.
I am used to like the number of questions that we have, but man, a Shevitz, there are some long ones in
some
here.
lengthy-
Do you
So,
have
yeah.
19 voices?
Some of them ask for like 5 voices in one question. So the question is not 19. It's
Awesome.
more like in the 20s and 30s. So
Love it.
we'll find out as we get there, folks. But let's start off here up at the top. News that's been happening for the Chargers. Dove Kleiman, good old boy Dove, tweeted out, top NFL running backs planning a Zoom call for Saturday night to discuss their depressed market. Multiple sources tell PFT's Mike Florio that Chargers running back Austin Ekeler has organized the meeting and distributed the Zoom link. All of the big name running backs have been invited. So
I just picture
I
them
just
all.
see Ekeler on there by himself, waiting for people to join.
And then they start to show up, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Austin. I'm a running back. Hi, Austin."
hi, Austin.
Oh God.
So, yeah, clearly, stuff that's been talked about for Austin Ekeler this entire offseason is the appreciation of running backs, their value, what they contribute to the team,
Yeah.
and is what they're being paid equal to their contribution to the team. And to be fair, Austin Ekeler is not the only one that has made mention about the treatment. We've heard Derrick Henry. We've heard multiple other running backs. Even, we've got the Raiders. We've got Jacobs, who's planning to hold out. Saquon Barkley, who's acting like he's not going to be a giant this year.
I have a shamelessly positive take on this.
Give it.
I think Austin might be an inside mole trying to mess this up. Like he planned this Zoom meeting. He's trying to get these guys to hold out.
Like
So we have
Saquon, hold out.
Dude,
Derek,
you got to do it for
play,
us.
dude. Do it for us. Yeah.
No, do it for our
Don't think
team
about
and our
yourself.
ability to make the
Yeah.
Super Bowl is what you're doing it for. So
Yeah.
I think there's might be some hidden motives, agendas.
Could be.
Positively.
I mean, it's blessedly, it's not directed at the Chargers specifically. It's just about their worth in general. And then we've seen it with the entertainment industry right now. We've got writers and actors that are going on strike because they are not getting paid what they feel they are worth. So hopefully we're not seeing a running back union number 205 coming out to strike and pick at the games here pretty soon. But I think I saw there was a tweet. I want to say it was Nick Chubb who tweeted out that that he attended the Zoom meeting. It was just like, yeah, it's kind of sucks. Things are what they are, but it was just like, they didn't come out necessarily with a plan, or at least I don't believe that was in the tweet. It was just, yeah, it sucks that this is the situation that the running backs have been put in right
I
now.
wonder if that Zoom was recorded. That meeting was recorded. I
come
would
on.
love.
What if that was his ulterior motive, that Austin Ekeler recorded the Zoom
Oh
meeting?
my
and it's
You
God.
just
gotta sell
like,
it. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys,
That could be worth
he's got
millions.
something in
You
his
guys
back
want some
pocket.
money? I know how to make money. I can
Yeah.
put this thing live. We could be rolling in the dough
We'll
quick.
sell this to a news outlet. We'll
Yeah.
make some extra dough.
So we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out, and it just is what it is at this point. Thankfully,
There's not really anything that you can do. Unfortunately, like that's your employer and that's what they're willing to pay you.
Mhm.
What say do you have in the matter? Like You want to go play for another team? Oh, that other team's not going to pay you either. It's like they're all, the whole NFL is in it together with the running back is not going to get a big contract after that rookie deal. So there's nothing you could do with the owners. You have to go to the players and you have like the Players Association and get them to say, give us a 2-year rookie contract so I can cash in one time. Yeah. You get these guys on 4-year deals, and then if they're really good, you just franchise them until they're retired or until they're hurt or whatever it is. So yeah, there's not really anything that they're going to be able to do to the owners because they've all come together and been like, yeah, we're not paying you guys anything.
Right. So we'll just have to wait and see if anything comes from any of this. But if
we know that X playing, so that's all that matters for the Charger world. Austin Ekeler is suiting up here at training camp in a couple of days.
Yeah, he signed the deal. He's in. And who else is in is our rookies. The Los Angeles Chargers tweeted out that the rooks are back, showing Quentin Johnston, Tui Palatu, and I'm guessing that's
Henley,
Deion Henley. Okay.
Who else is getting more and more excited about Henley?
Oh my God.
Days go?
Have you seen what he's been posting? Like him working out with his helmet on. Like that dude is jacked.
Yeah,
he's no joke, dude. Yeah, when we picked him, you just don't know anything about him. Washington State guy,
right.
Like everyone's asleep when the games are being played. He's a quarterback in high school. Then he's a safety at Nevada, and then he plays linebacker at Washington State. Like just kind of an obscure thing, but the more you hear people talk about him and us following on his social media, like you see what he's like, the work that he's putting in, and man, he's exciting. I think he's more exciting than a Drew Tranquil. Like Drew is solid leader.
Oh yeah,
good dude, but he didn't have that upside of being like a home run type of guy. He just seems like he has so much versatility that you don't know he's going to line up all over the field. You don't know what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the physicality of Deion Henley. For those that aren't aware, go check out Instagram and Twitter. I'm pretty sure he's putting them on both platforms. That just the
posting his workouts and stuff.
Just looking at the guy, like especially when it's video. Photos, I don't think do it justice, and I'm sure video doesn't either. But just every muscle in his body, just massive. It's insane.
That guy's out of control.
So good to see them back. Obviously, getting ready for training camp. This little tidbit came out for as long as this offseason has gone on. Nobody's really pointed this out until just recently, but the Chargers have scored more points in Justin Herbert's starts than any other QB through their first 3 seasons. Right then and there, you're like, that's perfect.
Holy shit, where are the 3 Super Bowls?
Right. But then they also followed up with Chargers have also allowed more points in Justin Herbert's starts than any other QB through their first 3 seasons.
Since the 1970 merger.
Which is a long time.
That's a
We're talking
long time.
50 years ago. So
there's your answer right there. You want to look, you're trying to solve all these problems of why our team can't get over the hump. Like this is the clearest stat you can get as to what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, Herbert gets a lot of hate for not winning those big games, but like the defense has just really been non-existent in his tenure. It's been bottom of the barrel type of stuff. So football is a team game. You cannot put it all on one guy as much as we want to. And as much as it would be great if he could carry you, Tom Brady always had a great defense and incredible special teams. Mm-hmm. Everything around, like he was obviously he's a top quarterback ever in the NFL, but he had those pieces around him to allow him to succeed. So it's like, Justin, don't sleep on him, man. Like his Madden rating and everyone saying that Trevor Lawrence is better. Like, come on.
Yeah. Or he's just as good as Dak Prescott.
Ugh.
Like, yeah, no, that's just not true.
We're not watching
ridiculous
stuff.
No,
I think they just like to piss off Charger fans. I see it. They are trolling us so hard, and we're loud. We want to come to his defense. So
yeah, but we are.
Guys.
Yeah.
The difference is we show our work as opposed to somebody else that just goes like, "Oh, he sucks," or "Oh, he's only 87 rank on Madden." Which
end all be all, right?
Okay, if that's your only argument, then.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Yeah, Bye-bye. I saw one post that somebody was projecting that we go 7-10 this year.
I saw that too.
Like, did you just forget who we have on our team?
No
I don't
way.
understand.
Yeah.
No, we would have had to have lost Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen, and then go, okay, yeah, maybe 7-10.
Even with all that, we still made the playoffs last year.
That's
we
what
did
I'm saying.
it last year. Yeah.
So, Yeah, well, it is what it is. But if anybody ever comes at you, folks, trying to say that Justin Herbert sucks, you can just give them that little tidbit of information and let them know that it's not Herbert's fault. It's our defense. That's the problem right now. So, and then let's see. There was an article recently from Eric Smith, our good friend Eric Smith with the Chargers, recently finished up a coach interview with the Chargers quarterback coach, Doug Nussmeier, and asked him, what excites you in your first camp with the Chargers? And Doug Nussmeier said, well, obviously, just excited about the opportunity to be here. You look at where this team was last year, a playoff caliber team that has explosive weapons on offense. I think it's an exciting opportunity and situation to come into. Obviously, have an opportunity to work with Justin Herbert, Easton Stick, and now Max Duggan. Yeah, really excited and just looking forward to the opportunity.
This is him, and he's going to be a big deal for Justin. You know what I mean? And it's kind of interesting. I saw a lot more stuff people talking about Justin and Lombardi and what we're going to get with Kellen Moore. And just, I think it was, who was his first offensive coordinator? Steichen. Yeah. Steichen basically had an interview where he kind of said, the one thing you don't do with young quarterbacks is throw the kitchen sink at them. You keep it simple so they can play their best football. And that's what he did for Justin, his rookie of the year. And it seems like it might have been too much for those 2 years. So seeing what these guys do for Justin and how you simplify it, not only for him, but the run game and what's going to happen, I think is going to be huge. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he does with Kellen Moore after working with Kellen Moore in Dallas and now coming over here to basically do the same thing that they did with Dak and instill that into Justin. That's going to be really fun to see. They also went on to talk about, we'll get into Justin. What's the first couple of months been like, and what have you learned about him? And Nussmeier said, the first thing you see is his detail and how locked in he is to getting it perfect and getting it right. He's a perfectionist. He approaches the game that way every day. Obviously, him dealing with his injuries in the offseason, getting healthy, so going through that process, watching his approach, his work ethic, and the way he's worked to get his body to where he wants to be to start camp, and he's done an outstanding job. Obviously, his resume speaks for itself. You've seen the things he's done. Really excited to get an opportunity to collaborate and work in the same setting. We have high goals of what we can do.
I mean, what bad things are there to say about Justin Herbert? You know, like he gets some balls. Think of anything. He gets some balls batted down here and there for being as tall as he is. It's like the one thing that maybe you could work on. But yeah, I mean, you're a quarterback's coach and you walk into this, you're like,
best
payday. This is a payday. Yeah. I mean, you look at Pep Hamilton, his 1 year that he was with the Chargers, he just happened to stumble into Justin Herbert and then walk his way into an OC position. We were talking about the dude as a head coach after 1 year.
We were.
Everybody was.
There's a good chance.
Like, he should take over the Chargers. Yeah.
Who's to say that Nussmeier isn't an OC next year? Like the odds
he knows. He knows exactly what this move was. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to come in here with Justin. He's going to have an incredible year, and I'm going to be an OC somewhere next year. And this is great. Thanks for the interview.
This is great.
This is great.
Good for me. that's what the season is for Mr. Nussmeier.
Way to go, Doug.
Old Dougie.
All right. Well, we would be remiss if we didn't shout out our very own diehard Bolt Club president.
Fan of the year.
Rike. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rike.
I know this is coming out a day after your birthday, but trust me, at the time of this recording, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Rike. And then we've got some big news here, folks. We've got a giveaway to talk about here. Ticket giveaway. Our good, faithful listener who's been with us since the early days.
He's there since like season one.
One of the OGs, Ramblin' Ronnie, has some preseason tickets to give away, and he's entrusted us here at the Charger Chat
to
basically give it to you folks.
This feels like we're starting to accomplish what we set out in this podcast of creating this community of supporting each other and growing this fandom. So
absolutely,
that's awesome. Thanks, dude.
Yeah. And you know, Mervin over there, he's an awesome dude. And he's got an amazing website called ramblingronnie.com. It's a comedy website. made Adam and I laugh pretty hard a couple of times. So go check it out. We're going to come up with a way to get these tickets out to you guys. Keep an eye on Twitter this week. Yeah. I know you all will already because of all the fun stuff we're going to see from the Chargers, but we're gonna give his tickets away to his 2 tickets for the Saints game, August 20th, this week sometime on Twitter. So
Section 321 is pretty solid too.
Pretty solid.
That's a good place.
Yeah, and to be specific, it's the game against the Saints on August 20th. So keep your eyes peeled.
Derek Carr won't be playing, but he's probably
but you might be able to throw something.
He'll be on
at
the
him.
sideline.
I don't know. It's week 2. He'll probably be playing, man. That guy's not seen any snaps with the Saints yet.
He's going to be competing for a job.
He's battling for the starting position with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. So look for the announcement on how to win the tickets this week on Twitter, and make sure you're following and have notifications turned on. Again, we'll talk about the logistics when we get there, but just be on the lookout.
2 tickets are coming.
Something else to be on the lookout for, folks. We talked about it in the previous episode. The brisket broads, our favorite ladies, are going to be at not just 1 or 2, but they're going to be at every single
there's
training camp day open to the public.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
You, they're the best.
I don't get it. Because I've been to training camp and it's fun, but once a year is enough. Once a year, and I'm like, all right, we're good.
Dude, they have a book full of drawings they need to get signed.
That's true.
And so they're going to be there for 3, at least the 3 that the upcoming first 3, I know for a fact. And what we did is, only way you can get a Charger Chat patch is if you're on Patreon. But we sent the brisket broads, not 1, not 2. How many?
3.
Utah.
3.
Give me 3.
Utah, give me 3. 3 patches. And if you see them, say, hey, brisket broads, I want a patch.
Give me one of those.
And if you can ask one of their broad bolt trivia questions correctly, you will get one of the 3 patches.
Yes.
So good luck to you all. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Punches above the belt only. Keep it safe.
Yes.
But there's 3, the brisket broads.
There's only 3. There's no more than that. So if you get there and they're like, sorry, we gave them all away, don't be mad at them. We only gave them 3 because they're such sought after items over at patreon.com/chargerchat. And as we normally do, we have to shout out the new names over at patreon.com/chargerchat. And the new name, singular, this week is Jeremy Searcy.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Thank you, Jeremy, for joining. We really appreciate it. And if you want, you can go to patreon.com/chargerchat. Like Kevin said, if you join at the $10 level, you could get yourself a patch. It's the only way to get it as of right now. And we'll have 3 to give out during the training camp. But we have a bunch of other tiers. We're posting stuff every week. More funny videos that are exclusive only to Patreon. And if you don't want to go over there, though, that's all right. You can go on over to our regular website, chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the member section and ask questions in Ask Boltfam. So go check out chargerchat.com. All right, gang, it's time to go on to the next segment. We mentioned their name earlier in the podcast.
Did we?
We did. Oh, who could it be?
Who could it be?
Well, we've got the very own Eric Smith here to sit down.
Yep.
Sat down with Kevin, the
quite the pull,
Charger senior writer. Sat down with Kevin, and I can't wait to see what they talked about.
We'll just say he gets us ready for this train.
Does he?
Oh, he does.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right. I'll get the popcorn.
Get it.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super lucky to have Chargers senior writer Eric Smith. What's going on, Eric?
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's awesome, man. We're so glad to have you back on. We love, catching up with you and you filling us in on all the awesome behind the scenes stuff you get to see. So let's kick it off like we did last time. This is so exciting year because of this new offense and what's going on. What were your original thoughts when the Kellen Moore hire happened?
Yeah, I was pretty fired up about it. I think mostly because probably like most people, it was a little bit unexpected. You'd kind of heard names that were candidates for the job. You know, and I had like a list of like people I thought, okay, this is who we might target. And that's because Kellen was obviously still working for the Cowboys and are under contract with Dallas. But then, you know, the news comes out that they're going to kind of part ways, and you're like, okay, like, you know, this could be a possibility. And it happened real quick. You know, I mean, that was pretty evident when he was hired. He said like it was a whirlwind, I think like 24, 48 hours. So the first thought was I was a little bit surprised, but in a good way, because he's had certainly like a lot of success in Dallas. You know, his offenses have been really good for a number of years. And, you know, I think it was time for a change at that position. And by all accounts, like it's been really smooth and like really good so far. You know, we'll see in camp, right? That's when it gets serious and obviously games and all that. But as far as like the offseason, the biggest takeaway was, man, Justin Herbert, once he got on the field, is pushing the ball down the field. And that has been really good to see. It seems like Kellen really wants to like take advantage of Justin's arm strength and just like his physical tools and his talent. And we saw that in the spring, and we'll see if that carries over to camp. And then obviously during not preseason, but regular season games.
It was just so crazy, the fact that like a top 5 OC becomes available. That just doesn't happen very often. And it was like the perfect kind of like, we were all shocked and excited, and we're excited now because we know what this offense is and we know what it can be, but him calling the plays is just exciting. And I wanted to shift over. One of the other big changes that happened this offseason was the training staff. And I'm always wanting to hear like the questions on that and like what's going to happen with the health of the team. Because as fans, we don't really have a good insight on how that all plays out. But what were your thoughts on, you know, Damon Mitchell was with the team for 24 years and they decided to let him go. And then they brought on 2 guys. I think it's Marco and Salvador. Right. What are your thoughts on what that can do, and why were they trying to make that change, and what are they trying to improve?
Yeah, you know, I can't really speak too much on like why they made it. I mean, if they made a change, they obviously felt like something different was needed. So that's really all I can say about that. I will say that Marco, you know, he was already on staff as an assistant athletic trainer. You know, and he won this award back in, I think, like February. It was. He won like the AFC Assistant Trainer of the Year award, the first Chargers trainer to ever win that. So it's like a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, I kind of got the sense when I wrote that story that like, man, people are really high on him. And I wonder if he's going to eventually be like the main guy, because colleagues, his fellow trainers, players, like I talked to Corey Lindsey, like everyone just raved about him. And when it was announced, I think during minicamp, that he was elevated to his new role, it wasn't a surprise to me, because it seemed like that was almost like a foregone conclusion, just because of how like well respected he is in the building by everyone. And he's just a great guy. You know, like I've talked to him a couple times, just a great guy. JC Jackson actually referenced him when we talked to him, JC, in mid-June.
Oh, really?
And he said, like, you know, he's like, I've really been working hard with Marco, and he's been doing a great job. So, like, I think it was the same day or maybe the day before that we found out Marco was going to be elevated. So, like, just tons of praise and, like, respect for Marco. Sal, you know, I don't know Sal that well yet. He came over from Tennessee. I know Brandon Daly was asked about him and, like, spoke really highly about him. You know, and I think what the goal for that is like just keep getting better, making sure like players are at their best on Sundays. And it's not just those 2 guys. Like there's so many people that are involved in that.
Sure.
Whether it's like the nutrition staff or I'm not sure if you followed my like coaching conversation series I've been doing.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I talked to like the sport performance staff of like Anthony Lamondo and those guys, and those guys play a big role too. So like Marco now like oversees everyone, but it's definitely like a collective effort. And the main goal, right, is just to like keep guys fresh and as healthy as possible and make sure they can, you know, be 100% or close to that on Sundays for game day.
Yeah, that's all we want is a healthy team, and whatever a coach wants to do to change that up and make that happen, we're all for. And then I wanted to check with you on, I'm trying to catch up on all this stuff because we don't get to talk to you very often, but the draft and just kind of your initial thoughts on kind of the direction we went and kind of at least those first couple guys, first 3 rounds, what your thoughts on them being able to, really help this team this year.
Yeah, I like the overall draft class. I think a big theme I found is that none of them are going to need to come in and be a starter on day one. And yeah. I will add to that by saying, I guess if you include Darius Davis as like the kick and punt returner, right? Then he'll be a de facto starter. But on offense or defense, none of them are gonna be asked to come in and like play 85% of the snaps right away. And that's good because we know this like is a veteran, experienced team. And in the case of like Quentin Johnson, right, he can come in and learn from Keenan and Mike and Josh Palmer and sort of grow at his own pace. It doesn't mean like he can just like sit on the sideline and have like a redshirt year. Yeah. Like the team still has like high expectations for him. But he doesn't need to come in and be wide receiver 1 right now. So he's in a good spot. And it's the same with Tui because like he had Joey and Khalil in front of him and he's not going to be out there starting, which is fine. But if he can be that third edge rusher and maybe you can see packages where like all 3 guys are on the field together, that's kind of the goal for him. Yeah. And then with Dayon, the 3rd round pick, he's going to be a key special teams guy. Ryan Ficken is really high on him and said he's going to be like a core 4 guy. He's going to play on every phase on special teams. And then we'll see how he does at linebacker in camp. I think it's pretty safe that Kendricks and Murray are the starters right now, but the team always loves competition, right? Like they're always trying to get better in every area. So we'll see how Henley does. One other thing I was going to say is that the team didn't draft a safety and they did not draft a corner, which is surprising because people, with JC's injury and then, Bryce wasn't re-signed and Nas is gone. So like a lot of people thought, oh, well, they'll like add depth there. And they didn't. I think that just shows the confidence they have in the players are already on the roster and how they expect young players to take a step forward, whether that's JT Woods at safety or Jasir Taylor at corner. Like those guys, that's why you draft guys, because you think they can progress and get better. And that's sort of just stuck out to me that, okay, we didn't draft anyone in the secondary this year, but we did last year. So now it's time for those guys in year 2 to take a step forward.
Yeah, and it's so interesting the point you made of like, when was the last time we drafted a guy that wasn't like, oh, we need you to get in there right now? Like, this is so necessary. And it's been up till last year. Like, we've drafted offensive linemen. They're like, all right, that's your spot. Let's go. So that's a really great point. And I'm excited to see how they can kind of develop and get better without the pressure, and then we kind of touched them on a little bit, everyone's talking about this offense and how we need to get speed and we need to get that like Tyreek Hill's. If you can't find that, but you need to get some energy like that on the team. And everyone keeps posting Darius Davis, like having like the fastest guy in college and the NFL the last 2 years. I know he's going to be a returner for sure. What are the thoughts on getting him out there to really do some damage, as a wide receiver?
Yeah, it's he's certainly going to be the 5th or 6th receiver on the roster, right? Like that. The Chargers have a pretty stacked wide receiver room right now. Yeah. I think the best case scenario for him is just to sort of like I don't want to, like, for lack of a better phrase, I'm gonna use the term like gadget player, but I'm not trying to pigeonhole him sure. into that, but like find like good packages and like carve out roles for him where like and take advantage of that speed, right? Like it could be a deep route, sure, but like a jet sweep, or like get him in motion, that's the thing. He doesn't have to get the ball necessarily to like impact the offense. If he's a threat with his speed and motion and the defense goes one way, right? Like, well, that opens up holes for other people. I'm not looking for him to like catch 40 balls and like do all this crazy stuff on offense, but if he can just kind of be like a niche guy to help maybe add like some juice in certain packages, I think that's a good role for him.
Okay, great. And then we're excited because when this episode comes out, it's training camp time. Are you excited? What do you like about training camp? What are your favorite? What are you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. This will be my 8th overall camp, so I kind of know the grind. And it definitely is a grind. Like, it's fun, and like it's fun to be back on the field and like watch camp battles, but it's early mornings, like long days, but that's part of it. What I'm looking forward to the most, I think like Kellen's offense is a pretty standard answer. Like I said earlier, if they can keep up that like explosiveness we saw in the spring, evaluating the trenches, right? Because like during the spring they're not in pads, so you can't really evaluate the linemen. It's like, how does the offensive line look with a couple guys and Zion and Jamari in different spots this year? How's J.C. Jackson look? Is he out there? How's he look? That's a big storyline. And then the last one I think is funny, but like the kicker battle, like that's a big deal. You know, it's been a great battle so far. So. There's always fun storylines, and I don't think this year is going to be any different.
Awesome. Well, Eric, thank you so much for your time, man. Good luck with the season and everything you got coming up. We always look forward to your articles. You do amazing work. So thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks, man.
What a lot of inside dope we got from Mr. Eric Smith. My goodness.
What a cool job that guy has. Huh?
Yeah.
Just get to hang out and port and just chill. I don't know if you've read all of his articles on all the coaches that he's interviewed this offseason. Do yourself a favor, go to Chargers.com and read those, because there's so much insight. Even like the Chargers podcast with Matt Money Smith was giving some things that he learned from those interviews. I just listened to that one. It was great. So definitely go read all of his stuff and follow him on Twitter, because dude, you're mainlining. You're getting straight into the vein of the Chargers with his stuff.
Yeah, there's no speculation type articles you're going to get from Eric Smith. They're going to be just, here's the facts. Here's what this person said. Here's what this person said. Exactly.
No Mary F. Kill from Mr. Eric Smith. You're getting the real deal.
Although, maybe next time we get him on. All right. Well, Mr. Smith, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with Gav. Man. That was really very special. Thank you so much. All right. Well, now it is time to go on to the next segment, which will be surely longer than half of this episode. It is Ask Boltfam.
Oppenheimer level.
It's going to be an Oppenheimer explosion. So gird your loins. Here we go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam. Kyle's getting stretched out. He doesn't want to pull a hammy on this one. We start off with Just Package 8738.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question? How's the overall health of the team as of now? How close are we to being 100% healthy, if not already there? How's the progress of the veterans and Wookiees looking for the new offensive scheme? All right, well, these are good questions for Eric Smith. I think he might actually.
I was just about to say, yeah.
So the problem is
for the interview.
Yeah. No team's ever 100% healthy, and that's at all times. Like right now, we don't know where Justin is. JC's where JC's at. We don't know where. I know Rumpf was dealing with some stuff, and Palmer was dealing with some stuff.
Really,
everybody's always dealing with a little.
Jalen Guyton still recovering from ACL.
I would love to say we're going to be 100%.
Williams had broke his back or whatever in that Broncos game.
He wasn't out at spring at all, so he, it's going to be. I hope we can get to 100%. That would be an unusually amazing Chargers.
On a positive note, Joey Bosa said that he's the healthiest he's ever been, and he feels ready to rock and roll.
Thank you.
Good.
I like
healthy
that.
Bears are good Bears. Also,
good
Justin Herbert. Maybe I dreamt this. I'm going to be honest. I may have dreamt this. But did any of you guys see Justin Herbert's Instagram story where he said that he just played his first round of golf?
No, it's true.
Okay,
it wasn't a dream.
Okay.
It's
wasn't
reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Played his
that means
first
he's
round?
better.
Yeah.
Oh,
He played a whole round of golf.
Like the
I thought you meant like ever. I'm like, wait,
No,
I've seen him on the
first
links
round,
before.
first round of,
Since
of
the
golf
surgery.
this year.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Which means he's been fully cleared to do shit that's not Charger related.
Right.
They feel
Got it.
good on his shoulder.
Yeah, no one-handed golf swings anymore. So that is great news.
He's a better golfer one-handed than I am with two. I'll just say that.
No doubt. I would. Bet
Admission is the first
I didn't
step,
need
Kevin.
you to follow up with anything, Kyle. Just
that was an alley oop there, Kev.
Yeah. I forgot you're on this podcast sometimes.
I'm back.
He's back.
So yeah, just packaged a lot of questions that we don't necessarily have the answers to. As far as the veterans and the rookies and the new offensive scheme, I mean, we heard a lot about during that what was the OTAs that happened prior to training camp.
Yeah.
So, things are moving and shaking.
Like even with Eric said, the offense was looking explosive, very explosive when they first started implementing what they're going to do.
Without Justin really even throwing. That's just what Easton Stick and our boy Max Duggan.
And it's right. And I don't know if you remember, Coach Staley basically said, this is the best level of like offensive, defensive, like going at it we've ever had on this team. And that was in the first 2 weeks of having Kellen with us.
Right.
So that's what you start at, and then you build on that. I think we got
a good foundation.
The trajectory is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
So there you go. Just package 8738. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Dennis Andrew, who asked the question. Hi, bitches. Just wanted to ask, why in the actual isn't my boyfriend Justin freaking Herbert wanting to be mic'd up? I mean, come on, babe. I'm not buying your scrum diddly-umptious girthy footlong sub from Subway for nothing, you handsome stud. I know you're humble and all, but oh my God, just please give us what we want, you sexy son of a bitch. You can't play hard to get forever. Hee. I just really need to hear your grunts and loud calls on the field to fuel my Sundays. Please, Justin, you're making me ruin my expensive mascara I bought from Ulta for I don't know how much. God, why are you asking me these things? I need answers, Charger Check. Let me buy.
Sorry about your mascara there, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis.
Dennis.
Hope you kept the receipt.
I feel the same. I feel the same way.
Grab the waterproof next time.
So the funniest stuff, dude. He was mic'd up at practice. Like, this is the last time you're gonna some of the funniest moments he had.
I know.
This is the last time you're gonna have. You better enjoy this. This is the last time you're gonna get this.
It's in the intro of our show because it's the only time he talks on the football field. But it's like the fans loved it. You know, like we want that.
Yeah, we did.
Why won't you give that to us, Justin? If you know we love it.
For the love of God.
But we love it that much more because it's so rare. It's
unattainable.
Yeah.
It does.
It's like a unicorn.
It's like
glimpses.
It's like hearing Patrick Mahomes all the time. I'm sure the Chiefs fans start tuning that shit out. You know what I mean?
Patrick Mahomes' Kermit voice. I bet they didn't even watch that quarterback show on Netflix. You're I don't give a shit what this guy has to say.
Let's mute it. Turn on the subtitles.
Did you guys? We haven't talked about this yet. Have you guys watched that show?
Absolutely
we
not.
tried.
How
we tried.
I watched 3 episodes, but what I ended up doing,
fast forward through the Mahomes stuff,
right through the Mahomes
I
stuff.
might do that.
I couldn't
because
do
I'm interested in the other quarterbacks and like what the NFL's like.
I like Cousins now. Like that was a crazy story.
Marcus Mariota's on there too, which I'm interested to hear because him and Herbert are kind of boys. The Oregon connection.
Oregon boys,
So I mean, I'm interested. I just wish there was a way to not have Patrick Mahomes in there because my wife was like, "Oh, like, do you want to watch that quarterback show?" I was like, "Not even a little bit." She's like, "What?" I did not. She's like, "I thought you just didn't want to watch it because you didn't think I would want to watch it." I was like, "Nope, no desire to watch that show." I'll just get angry and not be able to go to bed tonight. So I don't want to watch
Thumbs down on Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, and we just recently saw also, I think Peyton Manning tweeted out that they're already starting season 2.
And I saw somebody put up
Justin
Herbert, Tua, and Burrow, the top 3 quarterbacks
that would be
taken
amazing.
Those 3.
Oh,
that would be amazing.
So good.
Especially week 1 where Herbert beats the shit out of Tua. Bad baby.
For the second time.
Yeah.
Come on. So, all right. Well, Dennis Andrew, we don't know why. We wish we knew why, but I have to imagine it's like Kyle said, because there's so few moments. We just love
That's
it
why you
that
want it
much
so
more.
bad.
We cherish it that much more.
Yeah.
And so maybe we'll get one this year. Maybe it's an every other year.
Or would you
situation.
be okay not having mic'd up if he was a QB on the Netflix show?
Oh yeah, I would trade Mike's
Yeah.
up for his career for one show where we get to see like the day to day with his chef and behind the scenes for sure.
Because you still get mic'd up on quarterbacks. You still hear them talking like you heard Kirk Cousins.
Even
talking
if
and
you
all that
have
stuff.
like last year we had our OC mic'd up Lombardi, and then you got to kind of hear the interaction with Justin. So you get little glimpses, and that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Dennis, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Boltenberg,
Certified fresh.
who asked the question. Hey, guys. Thunder Thor here. First off, I want to applaud your unwavering fandom towards the team that we all seek therapy for year in and year out. Your shamelessly positive attitudes are always an uplifting moment during the week, especially during the season. The shameless positive attitude is what I believe is what has brought you three so much success. Now let's get serious. Football is officially back. It's training camp week, and I will be there Saturday with my family celebrating the return of the only sport that truly matters. In honor of the celebration, my question is this. I know you guys have been fans for many years, but what is that moment in your fandom that you knew you just became a diehard fan? I know all of us diehards have that one moment, whether it be a certain game, player, or even play. My diehard moment came in 2006 during a Chargers-Raider game with Drew Brees 3 yards in front of me, Phillip Rivers and Sean Merriman 15 yards to my left, talking ball, and one of the greatest coaches the Chargers have ever had, in my opinion, within arm's length, yelling into a referee's face after LT just punched through the goal line right next to me. Why was Schottenheimer yelling? Why was I so close, and what happened next in this epic diehard moment? I will reserve for a future episode or maybe some kind of focus segment if it sparked enough interest. Can't wait to hear your diehard moments from each of you. Family, trust, respect, FTC, FTB, Bolt Gang, or do not bang. Okay, love you, bye.
Well, color me interested. I'm going to reach out to you and get you signed up for a fan focus.
You had me at arm's reach because how in the heck did that happen? I need to know. I need more info. But great question. What moment or play or player or what, who, what, where, how, when?
I know when I did, and it's different, and it might, I don't know, it's different because
that's okay.
I've been a fan since 90, probably 91.
Yeah.
That's when my dad, it's been a part of my life forever. I was like 6, 7, right when that happened. Kyle was born. Like that's when I became like a fan.
Kyle was born, and that's what made you a diehard Charger fan.
Yeah, we just started.
1990 was the year I was born.
Yeah, so that's when it started. I was a fan, and I was a consistent fan all those years. 2008 is when I went from fan to crazy diehard fan.
Okay.
And it's when the first year I moved to Missouri, and I was used to being around Charger fans in San Diego and all that, and it was not a big deal. As soon as you become the one fan in a full-on community of another team that's in your division, you do one of two things. You become a Chiefs fan, right? Because you just succumb to the pressure of whatever the fucking community is.
Right, yeah.
Or you double the down and become what I became. Just a psychopath.
What did you become?
I don't know.
Still figuring it out, all right?
I don't know. I kind of black out when it happens. So one of you is going to have to report back one of these days when I go full psycho fan.
He's the Charger Hulk fan.
Yeah. You won't like me when I'm angry. So it's basically right when that happened, and I started going to sports bars around here, and it was when LT was still on the team. That's
right.
It was 08, and then I just remember just always having to defend myself, and then that kind of made the armor even stronger, and then I got more outgoing and even more intense about the team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when my fandom really kind of kicked into the next gear.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, and knowing you because of how competitive you are.
Oh, yeah.
You're not one to just like roll over and be like, okay, I'll do it.
Dude, I am so petty with my Chiefs friends. It's crazy. Like whenever there's a news, like a negative news about the Chiefs, I'm like, hey man, did you hear about this? Like, you know, did you hear Jones is holding out? Kind of weird, huh?
Oh, he looks like that boy. He's out for the whole season. That's a shame.
That's a shame. All right, well, see you later. But outside looking in, I'm a terrible friend.
No,
and I don't mean to be. I have just been conditioned to be this way. Okay.
Unless you're a Charger fan, then Kevin is the best of friends.
I will be your best friend. I will be in your wedding party if you need me to.
How about you, Kyle? Did you have a moment that kind of flipped the switch from just being a regular run-of-the-mill fan to being a diehard fan?
I don't know. Yeah, I was born into it. So unlike Kevin, I was born in San Diego.
I was.
So it's just kind of in my blood. Yeah,
sure.
I don't know. I think honestly, like getting to the point in my life where I knew what was happening, that's when I became a diehard. You know, it's like
sure.
Like the younger years when I was just like, we went to the Super Bowl in 94. I had no idea what was happening. So that wasn't my moment. But yeah, I mean, I've been a Chargers fan my whole life. I was number 55 because of Junior Seau and Pop Warner. So there was nothing but Chargers my whole life. So I guess puberty, becoming a man.
When I started getting hair on my face,
became a man.
I
became
almost
a
just passed
man.
out. I just laughed so hard, I almost just passed out. Dude, I seriously went a little dizzy for a second. Wow,
well, that's usually my job.
A lot of things happen for you at puberty. Sounds like a lot of positives.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, became a man, became a diehard Charger fan, all in the same time frame.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Just broke Kevin. That was great.
Ooh, no, I got dizzy.
That was really good. It's hard to follow up an answer like that. I would have to say for me, the moment was the announcement of the move, because
that triggered you to be diehard.
I would say so, because I was always a fan prior to the move. Like I would get Sunday ticket because I lived in California, but I moved to Idaho. But it felt like it was the one thing that like I could kind of keep in connection with Kevin. It was like, let me keep up with the Chargers and let me see what's all, going on with them. So I would watch just about every game. And then the move happened. And when the move happened, it really became kind of like, okay, what path are you going to go down? Are you going to just abandon ship and just say, okay, that's it? It was fun while it lasted, so long, and thanks for all the fish. Or are you going to continue to go with it?
Yeah.
And I remember talking to Kevin about it because I was like, what are you going to do? Because I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, and then you said that you were going to continue to be the fan. So it was like, okay, this could be the opportunity to really cement the fandom.
Dig your
me.
feet in. Yeah.
And yeah, like if I'm going to follow this team when they go to another city, to a new stadium, that I'm in it for the long haul. Like I can't just give up at any point anymore.
You kind of become like a day one fan again.
Yeah,
in a way.
Sure, yeah.
And I think that's the same for everybody that stayed a Charger fan after the move. So, we're far enough removed from it now that it doesn't necessarily sting as much. And it's almost, I don't want to say it's hard to remember, but it's like, I don't know. I think that was the moment for me that I was like, okay, this is it. I'm a Charger fan for life at this point, because I followed them this far. I got to keep going. Can't give up anymore. So, all right. Well, Boltenberg, great question.
Thanks,
and
great
really,
question.
we got to get you on Fan Focus. I got to hear this story.
I'll message you when we're done here this evening.
All right. Well, let's move on now to Arnie Gordon, who asked the question: which player that hasn't seen much playing time or not lived up to expectations has the best chance making you eat humble Pipkins pie? Now, swear to me. Can't love you bye. Okay. I love the idea of humble Pipkins pie. That might be the name of the episode
title.
We'll wait till the end, but that might be the name. But great question. Like what? Because we all pretty much wrote Pipkins off. Kevin still is hesitant about
I'd say
Pipkins.
my player is still Pipkins. Prove it after you get paid that you still are able to do it.
But
man.
I guess the question is, who has the best chance of proving? I guess that would be Pipkins. Like you would eat some
He's
Pipkins
proven
humble
himself
pie.
to a lot of people after last season.
Yeah.
But not me.
It's just the one guy that did so poorly in times that we needed him the most, that
Even in preseason, you were just like, what are you doing?
Kyle did a breakdown one time of like, where are you going? Like, what's happening?
Where are you going?
I'm glad that everyone is so confident in him. I want to match that energy.
Sure.
I really am coming for that energy.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a little more time. Yeah, I just hope he's good now.
We'll see. Do you have a different guy, Kyle?
Yeah, I think my guy's Alohi. I think Alohi Gilman's going to have a big year. It's not that he's been bad in the past, and he's had an okay amount of playing time. I just think that he's going to blow up. I really believe that. I think he's going to be a really big asset to our team and be valuable because of how much we pay him. I mean, he was a 3rd, 4th round pick, right? So it's not like he's breaking the bank. You have to have those kind of guys step up and be good players for you to be able to win Super Bowl. So, yeah, he's had flashes here and there, but I think we're going to get a consistent, like, really good season out of Alohi. Because I mean, for me, that's the one position that I think I'm a little bit scared about when it comes to depth, who we have back there. So I'm going to say Alohi's going to. There's some people that are kind of throwing shade at him and like begging for a John Johnson signing. So
right, yeah.
I think if we don't sign him, I think he's gonna serve up some pie to some people.
And I just thought about this. He might be like the last remaining Notre Dame guy. Tillery gone.
Tillery was a bit of a bust.
We lost our linebacker.
Drew's gone.
Yeah. We lost Tranquil.
You might be right.
I think he's our last of the Golden Domers, bro.
Golden Domers,
Domers. That's a great one.
It's the last of them.
Like the last of the Mohicans.
Last of the Domers.
All right. Write that down, possible. Write
that down. Oh, you want to call it that episode title?
Last of the Domers. Look at this. I mean, part of me wants to say Kenneth Murray because of how
we all want to say that, but do you believe that?
Well, I think he's going to have so much more playing time, I think, than Alohi, that he has the best chance of proving us wrong if he were to come out and play well. Now, that's not to say that I'm fully confident, but I think he has the best chance of making us eat some humble pie.
So everyone's kind of down.
Him coming out because of the amount of opportunity. His stock is very low because of the amount of playing time he's going to have. He's going to have the best chance of doing that. No, that's not necessarily to say I believe it, because I don't know what to think at this point, especially with us getting Eric Kendricks and Deion Henley to come in and letting Drew Tranquil go. I want him to be amazing. I want him to go out there and kick ass. It's been hard these past couple seasons, and now seeing that they're not going to pick up his 5th-year option, that if anybody's going to have a chance to really make us eat some pie, it's going to be Kenneth Murray, I think. I think he's probably in that area now more so than Pipkins, because Pipkins, we saw progress. We saw improvement.
He also wasn't a 1st-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see who ends up making us eat some pie, if anybody. But Arnie Gordon, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Zachary Shelton. Who asked the question. Hey, guys, I was off my game last week asking a non-Chargers question, but let's get back on the Chargers train. So Michael Davis, Ekeler, and Guyton are all set to be free agents after this upcoming season. If all 3 go off this year, if you could bring back 2 of them on new contracts, which 2 would you bring back? For me, I think it would be Davis and Ekeler. I think we have a good receiving room, especially with Johnston, but I feel like secondary could use Davis back, and if Ekeler balls out again for the 3rd straight season, I feel like we have to pay him. I think he kind of deserves it. What are your thoughts? Also, F the rest of the AFC, Chargers 2024 Super Bowl champs.
It just kind of reminds me that there's a lot of guys that are going to be question marks at the end of the season, which is kind of scary.
I mean, we even made mention of that last year, that like, get ready for next year because it's going to probably be a whole new group of people. But interesting question as far as 2 out of the 3, Davis, Ekeler, and Guyton. If they all ball out this year, I think that's the key, that like all of these guys have an amazing season and you can bring back only 2 of them. Which 2 are you bringing back?
Honestly, I would just bring back Michael Davis. If they both like have incredible seasons, they're gonna cost themselves out of our ability to bring him back.
Right.
I mean, Austin Ekeler, if he does have another good season, we've already made it very clear that we're not willing to pay him and give him a long-term deal. We already gave him his undrafted deal, and then we gave him a second deal, a third deal for a running back. I know he's not old yet, but we've already talked about it on this episode that the running back market is depreciated. It's just not. Right. It's just not going to happen. I mean, we've drafted a running back every year for the last 3 years because we knew we weren't going to sign him again. So, and Jalen Guyton, he's number 6. He's like our 6th receiver. So, if he has an incredible year, we have 2 guys that are top 5 on our pay on what we're paying guys. I mean, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen are top 5 on the team and getting paid every year. So, I don't think there's any way if Guyton has a good year, he's back. Ekeler, I'm going to enjoy this season and appreciate him, but I don't think there's any chance he's coming back to us. But Michael Davis, if he has another really good year, 100%, man. Like he's cornerback 1 right now with the not knowing what JC is and talks of Asante not even being the slot guy with just playing incredible. So Michael Davis seems like your one guy that's pretty solid and doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I think asking us to pick 2 is a little too easy. I kind of with the 1 because for me, if you pick 2, I think you got to look at what it's going to cost. I think it's easier to do Davis, which would have a comparable contract to Ekeler, and then Guyton if he plays amazingly. Like you're just still not going to cost that.
Yeah, because we signed him to a 1 year, like $1 million plus deal.
If he balls out, goes crazy with the limited production he has, he's still going to be cheap.
Right.
So I think that would be what I would do.
Yeah, because we all know the contracts for all the other stud players that we have of Bosa, Keenan, Mike, Khalil. You know, all of those guys are going to come home to
and
roost.
Justin now.
And then Justin's
sometime soon.
big fat contract is going to be just around the corner.
The one thing about that is that he can be cheaper for the first couple of years. The way they can schedule it. Kind of what happened with Mahomes. His like Super Bowl window where he's going off is because he was getting paid so little against the cap. So it'd actually be good for us in these next couple of years to do that and structure it in a way to where you can like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Right. But just in the essence of it being like of these 3 players, I think Davis, you're going to get the most value for the money that you put in there.
It's one of the hardest positions to find a good player at.
Yeah.
You can find serviceable running backs all over the place. Look at Pacheco. He was an undrafted guy who just won a Super Bowl.
Right.
So it's a position that you don't need to be the top physical freak. That, I think somebody said quarterback and cornerback are the 2 hardest positions to play in football. So if you find a good one of those, keep them.
Yeah. All right. Zachary, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the K-Man who asked the question.
Question. From everything you have found out up to now, do you think J.C. Jackson will be ready for camp this week?
I'm nervous that they announced that he was going to go see a doctor in June.
Right.
And he hasn't said anything on social media what's happening. It's either he's being like sly where he's going to roll up to camp like with the awesome car, hop out like I'm ready to go, or he's going to be in the training room for another month. You know what I mean? And like I think it's either or, just with the silence of the whole situation. It's like the big surprise I'm hoping for, but it could be maybe start of the season, but I don't know. We'll see how training camp looks for him. I really hope so though.
I mean, he was back for OTAs doing like one-on-one drills on the side.
He was on the side.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like competing. He was still
But I mean, but he's out there.
Yeah.
He's on the field. So I think
we were, a month ago, we were talking like, I wonder if this guy's going to play at all this year.
Ever.
Yeah. Is this a career ending thing? So, I mean, the fact that he was even out there at all during minicamp, it points to him trying to be there for training camp here in the next couple of days.
So I would be surprised, but I would also kind of not be surprised just because of the OTA business. I'd be surprised if he is out there like competing, like actually getting like contact or anything like that. That would be a shock.
It's going to start right away, so we'll find out on Wednesday.
We will. As per usual. So the K-Man, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Swipe of Visuals, who asked the question.
Hey guys, I need a song idea for a Chargers hype up. Y'all got any recommendations? Make sure it really gets the fans hype.
Do we ever?
What do you got?
Oh,
my name is Thunder.
Yeah,
you guys all
it's
know
too
that
good.
one.
Yeah.
That one's good.
Thunderstruck is the always go-to, but my name is Thunder by
The Beetroots.
The Beetroots, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
That-
introduced it to
That came out of left field earlier on this offseason. That like it's amazing that the Chargers haven't like tried to use that in some of their other hype up videos because it is so perfect for the Chargers. So that one's a big one for sure.
And I've been really into the hives lately. I did a fun highlight video on our Patreon with the 3 quarterbacks. So we got Phil, Justin, and Dan Fouts, and had to use Hate to Say I Told You So, which is some song. So I've find myself going back to high school. Some of these songs like getting me hyped up. I don't know what it is. Early 2000s.
The nostalgia.
Old man Kevin.
Yeah, the nostalgia, man.
Bringing back the oldies.
All right.
Any other songs in your playlist there, Kyle?
No. Ever since you guys introduced me to my
Coco
name is
Melon.
Thunder,
Yeah.
No Coco. No Coco Melon. Honestly, I have dodged 3 bullets so far with the Coco Melon train. I have not been exposed. I'm really hoping that this 4th kid doesn't
Keep
bring
the
in the
trend
Coco
going.
Melon. Yeah.
Respect the streak.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about you folks? If you've got any songs that you hyped up, put it down in the comments for Swipe of Visuals so you can put together a good hype playlist. And there might be some songs in there that we haven't heard of.
I love being surprised with
yeah, we need a playlist ourselves. So Swipe of Visuals, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Athir Kadir, who asked the question.
Well, Doug, my baby, Ask Boltfam. I have a question for the coach this week. Week 1 versus the Dolphins. Main focus for Miami defense is to take out Keenan from the game plan, put pressure on QJ, or play coverage to force our QB to be patient. Let me hear my coach, FTR, baby.
And I do want to say he prefaced this with, I hope coach is on the show this week. we just left that part out. And if he's not there, you guys can fumble your way through this answer.
As we would.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Coach. What do you think? I mean, don't give the Dolphins any ideas if their coaching staff is listening right now, but
they live in their own world. If you follow any of those Dolphins on Twitter,
what do you think their main focus would be? Taking Keenan from the game plan, putting pressure on Quentin, or playing coverage to force Justin to be patient?
Yeah, I think honestly, I mean, you could do any of those things. We have a lot of weapons, so it's hard to just take away one guy. When you look at our team as a whole, you want to force us to run the ball. So anything that you can do to make us prove that we are a running team is what you're going to try to do, which I think it's going to match up really well for the Chargers, because I think that's going to be Kellen Moore's like main like focus in this offseason, looking at how poorly we ran the ball last year, is how can we scheme together a game plan where we can run the ball and prove that we have that ability. But you look at years past, the last couple of years, especially last year, the way that it ended in Jacksonville, you're going to force us to run the ball. So you're going to see a lot of deep safeties, a really light box, 5 guys in the box, with a lot of confusion in the secondary, just kind of teasing us to run the ball as much as we can. And we have to be effective. If we can start the season running the ball against those light boxes, it's just going to be such a game changer for everything that we can do. So yeah, I think Miami, you're going to force us to run the ball. You're going to have 2 high safeties a lot, guys getting out of the box to really get in the way and reroute receivers and force us to run the football.
Interesting. I like it. There you go.
Credibility back to the podcast.
Thank
Welcome
God,
back, Kyle.
because we would have been like, oh, I don't know. Justin too good. He's always patient.
Good pod.
He's always patient.
Athir, thank you
Thanks,
for
man.
asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bolty McBoltface,
Yes.
who asked the question.
Awesome name.
I have a question for Coach. It might be a fit for Coach's Corner if it's up your alley. Now, a follow-up for the whole gang. Much was made about how the defense improved markedly in the last 5 games. So Theories range from Staley simplifying the defense since Darwin was out, allowing the defense as a whole to think less and play faster, or the team getting the scheme finally, or just game-specific plans like press man against Miami's quick timing routes. Which does the film suggest it was? If it was simplified, do you think Staley learns from this moving forward? Or is he too invested in the complicated scheme to alter it moving forward since it worked for the Rams? Film clips or screenshots would be great to, show your points. You guys are the best. Keep up the great work. Kid, love you. Bye.
Yeah.
All right. So normally we would do a coach's corner on our Thursday episodes, but we haven't brought those back.
Those are coming back shortly.
Those are in season.
Yeah,
they're coming back.
I need a little bit of excitement of something coming up to put the time in to look at film.
Right. So for those that are new listeners, Kyle occasionally will do a coach's corner where he'll break it down. And Bolton McBoltface bringing up an idea as far as how the Chargers played in the last 5 games. So that could potentially be the next coach's corner that we see once we bring those back. But in the meantime, what do you think about his question as far as the defense kind of clicking near the end of the season? What do you attribute that to?
It is hard. It's the age-old question of how much do you install? But you have, as a coach, you want to take advantage of what you have, right? You only coach to the pieces that you have. You want your personnel to dictate what you do. It seems silly to run a defense that's simple with Derwin James in it, because you want to be as disguised as you can, and you want to be as multiple as you possibly can while still being effective. And it feels like Coach Staley's still figuring out the balance of like, how tricky can I be with still allowing these guys to play fast? In my opinion, the reason that they got good, I don't have clips to back it up. I could go pull some clips and lie to you and say, look, these two, you could totally tell by these 2 clips that we're playing fast because it's simple. It's not that easy. Over the course of a whole game, a lot of things are happening. But maybe I'll try to look at a couple here for a coach's corner in the future. But I think that it really was a simplification thing. When you have better talent than the other team, you just simplify it and let them play fast. And I think just allow that to be the case. Like if Derwin's a high safety, then still keep it simple and allow him to be good at being a high safety. Or if you bring him down in the box and JT Woods goes in there with Alohi, you can still keep it simple, but get those guys in different positions. It does feel a little bit like he's trying to do too much. I don't know why. I don't know how he was so successful with the Rams doing the same thing. Maybe he wasn't though. Maybe he was. Maybe he did simplify things down for the Rams. The only people that could tell you that is the players. No matter how much film I look at, I wouldn't be able to dissect what was simpler and more intricate. The players are going to be the ones to tell you, like, this was my responsibility on this snap. I can watch it, but what if the guy doesn't do what his responsibility was? Then it's not really a tell. So, in my opinion, it's always better to make it simple and let the guys play fast, especially when you have better talent. Now, when you're going against one of the top 5 offenses in the league, you have to be diverse. You have to cover disguise stuff and change your coverages. So it's not a carte blanche, be simple. It's when we lose to the Texans in 2021, and it's like, how did that happen? Like we should have just been able to show up and get a W. In those types of games, it's like, keep it simple, let them go play. Let us just prove that we're better than Davis Mills and win the game. So when you play the Chiefs, you can't just show up. You have to keep it. You have, even if it at the risk of allowing a big play, you got to try to make big plays. So unfortunately, it's not an easy answer. I think that in that stretch where you played really well, it was being simple and we were able to make some plays. But I'm not willing to throw Coach Staley under the bus, say he doesn't know what he's doing, and us as a fan base know that you need to keep it simple. Not yet.
Well said.
Well
Thank God you came back.
Don't get too excited, but thanks for coming back.
Nothing like a big brother to bring you back down.
All right. Well, there you go. Bolty McBoltface, thank you for asking the question.
Great name.
Let's move it on out to Lolo MCC.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question?
Is game planning a game-by-game strategy, or are there support specialists that focus on being experts for specific opponent teams?
All right.
This seems like back to coach.
Keep going, coach. You're on a roll.
Can you guys help me? Wait, can you guys help me dissect the question though? Not to.
So when you're game planning, are you game planning based on your opponent every single week? Or are there specialists that kind of help focus on specific? I guess they're kind of the same thing, aren't they?
So assistant coaches are basically. But
yeah.
So I would say there's two different things. So the offense, for the most part, you're going to run what you run, and you're going to adjust maybe a little bit based on personnel. From a defensive strategy, you should be very different week to week. That's kind of the way that football works, is the offense dictates what the defense does. It's hard for a defense to dictate what you're going to do. Like if you have Justin Herbert at quarterback, the defense is going to game plan to take away Justin Herbert. Whereas if you're playing the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry's in the backfield, you have to scheme to what they want to do. They want to give Derrick Henry the football. So
right.
From a game to game, I would say that the defense is going to look more different game to game than offense will. I think most of the offensive work happens in the offseason right now in training camp, OTAs, mini camp. Kellen Moore's probably busting his butt right now to figure things out. Whereas like for me as a high school coach, there was times where I would come out and I would have a completely different defense from week to week. So if you went and watched my last two games to try to scout what we were doing, you might not have any clue what kind of defense we want to run because it's so different. So I would say from a game to game strategy, it affects defense more than offense. Offense, they know what they want to do. It's just how do we manipulate certain matchups that we like a little bit more because they can do that.
There we go. Coach, keeping the streak alive. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lolo MCC.
Good guy.
Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to XX Kevon, who asked the question. Wool Dog, Kevo, Coach, baby. What it do? I'm excited, as you can tell. But anyway, I got a good feeling about Pokey Wilson. I don't know. He might be that sixth wide receiver. But to my question, honest answers. Where would you rank Herbo out of all the current QBs?
Do you want an honest answer or the biased answer? Because I got two answers.
If they're not the same number, I'm concerned.
Both answers, biased, unbiased. It's number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think there's something to be said for Patrick Mahomes being the fucking guy.
Wrong answer.
It's a bullshit answer. That's the unbiased answer. Is that
put Justin Herbert? No, wait. But put Justin Herbert on the Chiefs. Do you not think that he's won the same amount of Super Bowls as Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, you're probably right.
He's 100% has. I think he has light years ahead of our coaching staff because Andy Reid is a legend in the league. He's been, how long has he coached in the NFL?
Sure.
I mean, the chips have been stacked against Justin Herbert from the second he got in the league.
Sure.
His start was because of we ruptured a dude's lung with a shot, and then he was with a coach that was already on his way out in 2020 during COVID, and then he gets a brand new head coach that's a DC. He's now had a different offense. I mean, everything. You put Justin Herbert as a rookie on the Chiefs, I'm sorry, but Patrick Mahomes is not better than Justin Herbert. He just has a much, much better situation.
Sure. No, I'm just saying based on like what everyone's saying, all the thing we see him at like anywhere from like 3 to 6.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, he is 1A, 1B. Like he's right there. He just doesn't have the championships to claim the throne. I think as soon as he gets one Super Bowl, that's his throne.
Yeah.
I think he's going to claim it. I don't think there's going to be any issues with it after that.
Yeah. I mean, given the stat that we talked about earlier in the podcast, if the defense would just be better,
be halfway
it would have risen Justin Herbert's rank immediately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, number one and number one
in our hearts,
our hearts and minds. XX Kevon, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bolted Ashaman, who asked the question.
Thoughts on this Herbert contract prediction? 8 years, $475 million, fully guaranteed. Also, fire the cannon. That's FTC. F the Chiefs. Pumped up for the season. Pumped up. Can't love you. Bye.
Nice.
Fire the cannon.
Cannon. I like that.
All right. So
it's gonna be
prediction:
a lot.
8 year, 475. Fully guaranteed.
I'm hoping he gets one of those 10 banger contracts. Let's
Yeah,
go
the double
10 years.
digits. Yeah.
10 years,
Push that
500
thing out
mil.
as far as you.
10 year, 500 mil. Let's go.
Is that wasn't that Patrick Mahomes deal? 10 year, 500 mil.
Mahomes was 10 years, 450.
Yeah.
450.
So go 500 and make it a little bit more guaranteed money.
And
But it's all going to be based on what happens with Burrow.
everybody's just waiting for which shoe to
one of
drop
them's going to
first.
happen. Something's going to happen, and whatever happens to one, that's going to be the argument that, I think Herbert's going to make just a little bit less than Burrow because he gets his team to the playoffs consistently.
Well, he's been to the Super Bowl, yeah.
Sure. Okay. Then he gets a little bit more than Justin.
Whatever.
And let's just figure that out. I think it's easier for Justin to set it, and then Burrow will go.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other way around. But
we'll see. But yeah, 8 year, 475.
I don't mind. I would be pumped about that kind of contract.
Would you be worried about it being fully guaranteed?
That's just the reality.
Yeah.
Is that just what it is?
That's a lot of.
Well, I was going to say, I know Deshaun Watson, his contract was fully guaranteed.
Yeah, which is psychotic.
What was Jalen Hurts?
Which was psychotic. Yeah. I don't remember Jalen Hurts.
Recent. He got $255 million, $110 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
So they still got some wiggle room, and maybe that's the stipulation why no contracts have been signed between Herbert or Burrow is that guaranteed amount.
Dude, 8 years, 475. Even if it's $200 million guaranteed,
that's a lot.
Shut up! Just sign the contract.
You're almost a billionaire.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't have the same amount of children as Phillip Rivers yet, there, Herbert. So I don't think you got to worry.
You have
about
no dependence right
spending
now.
money and for kids and stuff like that.
You're not gonna be able to write very much off on your taxes at this point.
Can you imagine the amount of money that he was paying?
Phil's gonna write on it.
That is so sad.
Holy shit!
I mean, Phil's 10 kids. The write-offs aren't. I mean, for us, that's a big deal. For him, it's like didn't really help that much.
That extra 35, $4,000 a year. I'll take it all day.
Yeah.
All right, Bolted Asher Man, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the Salty Cook, who asked
Certified Fresh
the question.
It sounded like you said Salty Cook.
I see the.
I heard the
Salty
different.
what?
I heard a different cook. I heard a different thing. Sorry.
Okay. Who asked the question?
What's up, Bolt fam? I know we're all looking forward to the upcoming season, and during these dog days of summer, everyone is speculating on who the breakout player will be this season. One name I haven't heard anyone mention is our monster of a fullback, Xander Mother Effin Horvath. We started off the season using him effectively with 2 TDs in the first 2 games. But he finished the season with only 5 catches and 4 rushing attempts. What's the deal with that? Do you think Kellen Moore will use him more frequently this season? Thanks, boys. BTFU and those bitch-ass Raiders.
All right. Yeah.
The Horvath question. I think everybody has that, but it's going to be interesting what they do because he's got 3 guys ahead of him. If you're talking about running back and taking away touches from those guys,
right?
It's a little hard. I wouldn't mind seeing him on more like 1st and 1 situations,
right?
Like
Goal line situations,
power setup. I think the fact that you got the 2 touchdowns at the beginning of the year last year was like, oh wow, this is going to be amazing. And it was just maybe a little bit of a fluke in terms of the timing of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope he's great. It'd be awesome to have
But it is weird how it fell off. Like not even felt like there were any attempts later on in the year.
Was he hurt? I think there was something there. I know.
I don't know. He must have said something bad about Lombardi's mom or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but didn't really get utilized as much during the rest of the season. I did. I'm sure you don't know off the top of your head, but if Dallas Cowboys had a fullback that they utilized over Ezekiel Elliott in their
I don't think so. They were so tight end heavy and running back. I think that was more of the personnel. Like there's not many teams that have a fullback that's just a fullback. It's kind of a hybrid player where it's special teams, it's fullback, it's being able to catch out of the catch, it's being able to run. If you can't do that, there's not a position on a football team for a fullback. You know what I mean?
Well, your fullback has to be your all-star Pro Bowl special teams guy.
Yeah.
Which like Derek Watt was for us for forever. Right. And Xander had a great special teams year last year. So it adds that little element that you can toss him in there and move him around and he can have a place on the offense. Look, he's not going to score 10 touchdowns. I think 2 touchdowns is a lot for a fullback. That's not his job.
Right.
If he can just lead block here and there and be a stud on special teams, it's worth a roster spot because it adds a little element to your offense that keeps guys having to prepare for it. And you get a lockdown kind of body type for special teams. So I think he makes the team. I don't think he's done unless he just is a disastrous camp. But yeah, I think Horvath will be on the team, and I think that hopefully Kellen can get creative on how to use him.
Yeah,
that would be great to see. The Salty Cook, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Rebolted 2006, who asked the question.
Here is the Chiefs' running game from last year versus our running game from last year. Pacheco had 170 attempts, 830 yards, 4.9 average, versus Austin Ekeler, 204 attempts, 915 yards, 4.5 average. The team total was 1970 for the Chiefs, averaging 4.7 yards, ranking them 20th. Total team for the Chargers was 1,524 yards, averaging 3.8 yards, ranking them 30th. With that being said, what performance should we expect, no less, from this room this upcoming season for it to be successful? Pretty much matched them outside of RB3 and Justin's rushing performance for obvious fractured rib cartilage reasons. 1,800-yard total for the room with an average of 4.3 yards per carry. What are you guys thinking? Teach an old dog how to Doug in this new pass-heavy running back committee league? Just really want to understand what average running game actually means. K. Love you, bye.
And he also gave us stats for like comparisons all the way down.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of numbers and stuff in here.
I start to hyperventilate in my head.
It looks good on paper, but like reading it out loud is like, how do we keep track of this?
Yeah.
But I honestly, the biggest one here, I think, when you compare the two teams, is Justin versus Mahomes.
Yeah.
If Justin were actually able to run, this stat is weird because it doesn't necessarily mean you're a good running team. It's just that the average between all your players. You know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily consider that like the end all be all for how good your running game is.
Mm-hmm.
When you average it out with, a guy that gets, 2.9, Sony Michel at 2.9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's trash. That's beyond trash. So we just need to get better in general. I think the fact that, Joshua Kelly had 4.2 and Austin had 4.5, like those are good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just those other outliers. If you look at those other ones, they just bring everything down. Sony Michel ruined our ranking, ruined our ranking.
Yeah.
And then, Justin's inability to run because he was hurt all season, that didn't help either. Because he only ran for, he has right here, about 54 attempts for 147 yards. So,
and I think it's more situational than just numbers can tell you. Right? If you just look at numbers, it's like, well, our numbers, yeah, we were awful. We ranked 30th.
There's no way
running,
to sugarcoat
right?
that, yeah.
But it felt even worse than that because in a game in the playoffs where we had a giant lead against the Jaguars, we could not run the ball at all.
Right.
Yeah.
We just could not move the ball. So for me, you got to get away from the stats. And if we throw for 6,000 yards, but we can run the ball effectively when we need to, I don't care if we rank low in total yards rushed. It's that average that needs to go up. You need to be in that 4 to 5 yard average to be a really, really good running team. I mean, the Chiefs were at 4.7 yards as an average, ranked 20th in the NFL in rushing.
Right.
So we have to have more explosive runs. But just in my head, when you watch a football game, being able to run when they know you're going to run, the 3rd and 1s, the 2 minutes, the 5-minute drill, when you're just trying to chew up clock and force them to call timeouts, that's when it really, I don't care if we don't run the ball up, but when we need to run, we have to be able to.
Totally.
100%. Rebolted 2006. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Mr. Pekar, who asked the question.
The season is finally upon us, and the race to the checkered flag is only mere weeks away. And man, oh man, I am so excited. I'm harder than a diamond in an ice storm, if you know what I mean. Our Chargers offense will be shaking and baking away the defenses, running up the score because you know these boys are just big, hairy winning machines. I can hear our defense now. We're the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, we wake up in the morning and we piss excellence. When Kellen Moore laying down the law, you know you'd best follow it, because if not, Moore will paint your back porch red. If the rest of the NFL, you'd best be ready, because if not, we're going to scissor kick you in the back of the head. I mean, we're coming at you like a spider monkey. Yeah, I mean, we're about to go ape shit on y'all. Oh, holy heck, man. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. And to the Raider fans, you need to lay off the peyote and recognize that we are the best. Because you know, if you ain't first, you're last. Okay, my question. How do y'all feel about the Chargers running with the game plan if you ain't first, you're last? Also, have y'all ever been thrown out of an Applebee's? BTFU, FTR, and Hakuna Matata bitches, care loves you bye.
Never been thrown out of an Applebee's before.
Can't say I have either.
Hey, I'm not dead yet. There's still time to accomplish these things, you know.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe when we go to Kansas City.
Yeah. Get thrown out of a
we
Kansas
come in
City
with our
Applebee's.
Chargers outfits.
Let's
and
go.
They'll throw us out. All right. The mentality of being if you ain't first, you're last.
Love it. Who cares about being second place in the AFC West or being fourth? If you're fourth, you just get an easier schedule next year. So if you're not first, you might as well be last.
There you go.
Literally.
It's a easy answer there, Mr. Pekar. The answer is yes. 100%. Thank you for asking the question, bud. Let's move on now to Tom Telesco's burner account, who asked the question. What up, motherfuckers? It's time to bolt up, baby. JC, Vato, and Zon gonna combine for the best CB trio in the league. I need a virtual belly bump. I'm so stoked. It's almost go time, baby. Okay. What is all yo guys' guilty pleasure? Okay, peace out, mofos. Guilty pleasure. Something we take pleasure in that we know we shouldn't do.
Bad about.
I can't put down the ice cream. God damn it. No matter how bad I know it is for me, I keep going back. And we've been in St. Louis where there's Jenny's ice cream, and doggone it, I keep going back for more pints of overly priced ice cream. I can't help myself.
Yeah, it's good.
So
I'm going to go with today is a prime example. Chargers apparel. It's a problem. There was a sale today.
Issue. Sales are a real issue for Kevin.
And the problem is, like, if I was a solo guy, wouldn't be that big of a deal, because how many jerseys do you truly need?
Right. When I have 4 sons.
When I'm trying to outfit my crew,
the fam,
you're looking at a lot of jerseys, and a lot of t-shirts and a lot of hats.
And when a sale happens,
you justify it with this is a great deal. But then you look at the card at the end with the discount, you're like, oh, wow, that's almost $400. Cool, Kevin.
When you look at the credit card statement, it doesn't feel like as good of a deal.
No. But they're all going to look fresh.
But you can't help yourself.
Different colored Herbert jerseys. So I'm going to enjoy the shit out of that. It is an absolute pleasure seeing all my kids wearing 10s on Friday to school when they all go to school.
In Columbia,
Missouri, where it's all Chiefs fans. And even the teachers that are around there are wearing Chiefs stuff on Fridays. My boys are all wearing Herbert jerseys.
Powder blue.
Nice.
Let's go. We got powder blue, navy, and royal. I each got to pick what color they wanted.
Oh, nice. Love that.
And the baby's rocking powder blue. He doesn't get to pick. He's riding dad's favorite color.
There you go. How about you, Kyle? Any guilty pleasures?
I don't know. For a while there, me and my wife had a very easy guilty pleasure of watching The Bachelor. I wouldn't want to tell people that, but that's the truth.
It just happened.
But I just told all of you. I kind of fell off the Bachelor wagon. Did you guys hear that they're having no, you haven't heard, but I'll let you know. The next Bachelor, listen to this. The next Bachelor is 71 years old.
That's what I'm interested in that episode for sure. That's so creepy. How old are the girls? Are they a whole
should
bunch
we watch
of
it together?
Are they all a bunch of 60-year-old women, or are we talking about like 20s and 30-year-olds?
They called it like the Golden Bachelor. So yeah, they're all 70.
And there's a whole bunch of diggers coming in.
They're all old.
Oh.
I need someone to pay my medical bill.
It would be funnier if they were all like 50 and 60-year-old women. Honestly, like that's the one I'd want to see.
What if it's 25 or 20-year-olds?
Yeah, that's gonna be so weird.
Once I was like too old to watch, and I'm 32. It's not as if I'm calling myself old, but like I felt old watching The Bachelor for a while. So maybe this will get me back into it.
It'll bring you back in.
Yeah, you can relate to the contestant.
I'll preemptively say that my guilty pleasure is once again watching The Bachelor.
Love it.
Good deal.
Great answer. All right. Tom Telesco's burner account. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Boltville 714, who asked the question. Charge a chat. Before we close, I'd like to give a couple of announcements as I open up this altar call. First of all, we'd like to wish a happy birthday to Pastor Rike, president of the Die Hard Bowl Club Fellowship. May the Lord continue to give him wisdom to lead. Also, training camp is officially here. And for those who are attending, just remember to bring a hat and cool beverages. Let us pray for players' health. May the Lord deliver this team from any injuries during that camp. That being said, I've seen a lot of brothers and sisters that are still struggling with faith after last season. The book of Revelations tells us, for I make all things new. And I saw a new season, and all the pain, sin, and suffering will be cleansed and washed away. For I, Herbert, with the spirit of the more, shall deliver you from 2-yard checkdowns and botched jet sweeps. Can I get a Kellen and a Herbalooyah? So all you sinners and backsliders, I mean sisters and brothers here today, I would hate to see you leave here without giving your tithes. I mean your life's back to the Lord, your prodigal sons of rivers. Anyways, I forgot where I was going with this, so let's just do another round of tithes and offerings so we can show the Lord how grateful we are that football is back. Yeah, Lord knows those club-level season tickets are pricey, and Lord knows not all of us got it like the Brisket Broads or Gin Mills. Lastly, let us also pray for our players' health. May the Lord deliver them from any injuries or trauma during training camp. In the name of the Herbert, Moore, and Staley, we pray. And everyone in agreement said FTR. And, oh wait, I almost forgot. I have Brother Boltville helping me sell some holy water made from Raider Fan Tears, only $19.99 per ounce. Goes great on mixed drinks or as shots. It may just be Windex, who knows, but just buy them, okay? Because we can't forget about season parking, all right? Hey, charge a chat. What's the worst scam that you've been hit with? All right, sorry for being so long-winded, church. You know what they say, time is money, and money is the root of this pastor's joy. Okay, we are dismissed, church. FTR and kid love you, bye.
Great performance, Adam. Great script, great performance.
That was
every time I see one from Boltville and it's like 4 paragraphs, I'm like, God damn it. Like, what are we doing here? But then I read it and I'm like, okay.
He's good. He got A's. He got A's in English.
Okay. Well, all of that, the question of worst scam we've ever been hit with.
I feel like I'm getting texted a lot with scams, and it's just making me an untrustworthy person. So if you don't get a text back from me, it's because I think you're a scam. That's where I'm at right now.
Don't send Kevin links. He won't click them.
No, I'm terrified.
I'm terrified.
I'm fucking terrified.
You've been in Europe too many times, dude.
I know.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think.
Biggest scam. I felt like I had one now and I lost it. Where'd it go?
Chargers leaving San Diego.
Kyle got
but that one hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't a scam.
It was real.
It just really happened. Sad.
Biggest scam.
Scam before.
Yeah, God bless it. We haven't really been scammed too hard.
I've been scammed by people that I thought were cool that turned out not to be cool. I guess that's a scam.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a
you get scammed by friendship scam.
Friend scam.
I keep an eye out for those.
Friends scammed.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe the biggest scam that I got hit with was I bought a jersey that I looked legit, and then it showed up at my door, and it was like, that ain't legit.
No,
not legit.
No, I was like, man.
I bought these Charger like sweatpants maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah,
and it was like a big thing. Never got them.
Oh no!
Yeah,
didn't even get them.
Remember being pissed about that, and then I tried to reach out to the guy, and
he disappeared.
Go!
You just got scammed.
Yeah, you got scammed. Dude.
As I told you, my guilty pleasure is buying Charger shit, and that
even if you don't get it, you keep
yeah.
going back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wish we had better answers for you, Boltville 714, but I think
we're not gullible dicks.
No, we're not.
Unless it's Charger apparel.
And then
if there's Charger apparel, then we might be gullible dicks.
Yeah.
And then if there's a good deal, we might fall for it.
Consider me dick.
But thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Isaiah J.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question. Question. What's your favorite Chargers gear you have right now? FTR, FTB, FTC, both the motherfucker, baby. Can love you. Bye. Oh.
I have a weird one Kyle gave me that is like I haven't seen anywhere. Anywhere. This is early 90s Chargers gear, technically.
Okay.
It's a Chargers Pog and Slammer board that came with a Chargers Slammer and a Charger Pog.
Wow.
I've never seen this before ever, but it's
Pogs.
officially licensed.
Good Lord.
I have it up in my like man cave right now.
Pogs.
It's the weirdest one that probably doesn't cost very much, or maybe it's like priceless. I don't know.
Now that, yeah.
Who knows? But like I look at it, I'm like, wow, that is the weirdest shit I own. Really? It's like this is a non-exist game. This game doesn't exist anymore.
No, nobody plays Pogs.
But yet I have it. So I think it's one of my most random fun pieces of gear.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Pogs and Slammers, man. I used to have a shit ton of
and
those
it's official. It's not like, some dude made it in his
No,
his
it's
garage.
like licensed.
It's licensed.
It got the sticker. It's in like the original packaging and everything. It's wild.
That's
like whoever we got it from, I can't remember where Kyle got it from. They didn't open it. They weren't there to play. They were just there to collect some Slammers and Pogs.
There to play.
They weren't there to slam and Pog. You know what I mean?
Love that.
Yeah, that's my random shit.
Favorite Charger gear. Do you have one, Kyle?
Is it in my office?
Corny. This is going to be a corny answer, but it's all my Die Hard Bowl Club stuff. I love it. I know. I really do love it more than anything that I bought at like Charger Stadium stuff, because it is super unique and different than anything.
It's hard to get.
Yeah, and it's hard to get. Like it's a select squad that gets access to this stuff. So I love all the Die Hard Bowl.
And we saw their new designs for this year. Holy shit, are they cool looking?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they got the new hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need to get one of those.
And the shirts, like the logos, they've gone out of their minds with how cool these logos.
It's next level.
Good answer.
Yeti, I take maybe my Yeti or Not dolls.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Because I got 4 Yeti or Nots.
Yeah, you got more than me.
It's the unique stuff.
Yeah, that's very unique.
That is very unique.
Yeah.
Charger gear. Since we're kind of going the cornball route, I feel like I need to follow suit with
Confess.
that.
Yeah, double down.
I'm gonna say the cutout trumpet that the Brisket Broads gave
us.
us.
Trumpet.
That's up in my kitchen, right above my fridge, so I see it every day.
Also one of a kind.
Yeah, that's a one of a kind.
That was badass. I had that in my
irreplaceable. I love that thing. Yeah, that's a good one.
We got time to collect some more shit this year.
We do.
Just getting started, boys.
Yeah,
Can't
come back
wait.
and ask us in 6 months.
Come back and ask us after we get our stuff from the sale we just purchased.
Yeah, we'll do a show and tell. My new Derwin jersey.
All right, Isaiah J, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Senior Snappy, who, if you haven't heard...
Oh, the time is now.
The time is now. Senior Snappy has basically given us a choose-your-own-adventure that has spanned over multiple episodes.
This is like the 5th or 6th one, right?
Years.
This is a long one. So I wish I could remember every episode that we did this so you could go back and listen. But at this point right now, I think I have escaped Mexico.
Wait, are you out of Mexico?
I think I'm out of Mexico
and he had
because
to pick
Ricardo
between,
Montalban.
He had to pick between the dog or Kyle.
Well, and I had to decide whether or not I was going to marry Ricardo to keep him from having to go back to Mexico, I think.
And it was like saving somebody by doing that.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever.
So I believe that's where we're at in the story. Kyle, be ready. You've got some lines.
Oh, God.
Here we go. So,
oh, God.
Here's the setup. It's exterior beach day. Kyle and Ricardo stand on a rock on a sandy Tijuana beach. Children splash and play in the water a few feet away. Ricardo checks his watch anxiously. Kyle studies his phone, oblivious. What is keeping him?
He always does this. Takes forever getting ready.
At last, the bride, Wolldog, descends the stairs to the beach. The waves of the ocean caress the sandy shore.
Takes forever to get ready.
So this is it, Wolpero. One chapter ends and another begins.
I think I'm ready now. Ricardo and Wolldog stand close and turn to face Kyle.
I'm the officiator, if you didn't know.
Yeah, Kyle's the officiator.
Okay. We are gathered today to witness the marriage of Ricardo Montalban and Wooly Wolpero Wolldog.
Don't forget my scripture.
Oh, I didn't. I will now read from the 97th Psalm, verse 4. His lightnings lit up the world. The earth saw and trembled.
This does not feel the way I'd imagined it would.
A wave crashes nearby. The tide is rising and the ocean creeps ever closer to the three. Really? This is exactly what I pictured.
Do you have the rings?
I don't have rings exactly, but there is this trophy from 1964.
Don't worry about it. We'll get our rings. A wave crashes just inches from the wedding party. Wolldog hops aside to avoid the spray. Ricardo and Kyle stand motionless, stoic, ready. In the distance, a group approaches. The sun blazes behind them.
If anyone has any reason why this fugitive and this elderly character actor should not be joined today, let them speak now or forever hold their peace.
A wave slams the shoreline just inches away from Ricardo and Wolldog, spraying Kyle directly in the face. Oh, shit!
It is all right, Wolldog. You are safe. Let us hurry and finish here. Whoosh!
The tide comes fast. The group scatters to higher ground.
Haven't you heard of a goddamn farmer's almanac?
What? How did you find us?
Wooly, where's Ricardo?
Well, he's washed out to sea, duh. The guy is like 103 years old. Who planned this fiasco anyway? So a question. What if the marriage is legal in Mexico already? Would Wolldog change his name or try to play it off like this whole thing didn't just happen, which it totally did? Also, those hunt gangsters are back. Are you going to actually, like talk to them or like run away again? All right. That was the narrator.
That was a good one, Senior
The Valley Girl is the narrator.
That was good.
We really need to put all these together in one
yeah.
specialty, like all around. And we better hear some seagulls and some water in the background behind this.
Great. More work for me.
I
Thank
know,
you.
it's going to be worth
it. Okay. So if the marriage is legal in Mexico already, would Wolldog change his name or try to play it out?
So are you like ready to like double down on being married to this guy? Or are you like,
he's out
that
to
never
sea.
happened? Because now
I am willing
What's the life insurance policy like?
True. Ricardo Montalban's got to have like some money.
He's got
bank.
some dough.
Yeah.
Change your name, dude. Get the cash.
If that's all it takes to because Ricardo's he's ready to kick the bucket at any day now.
Yeah.
If he hasn't already. I honestly don't know if Ricardo Montalban's still alive or not. But yeah, if that was the case, I mean, I'm doing this all for shits and giggles anyway. So yeah, I would change my name.
Wolldog Montalban.
Sure. Because I can always change it back once he died.
Get that multiple money.
Yeah. I'll rack up a bunch of debt for Adam multiple. And then disappear, become Adam Woolley again. And then let's see. Also, those hot gangsters are back. Are you going to actually, talk to them or run away again? They're gangsters. They're scary. I remember they
But do you want resolution for your story? Or are you just
they almost made you
run?
shit your pants like 4 episodes
I know.
ago.
I felt like there were some threats too. It's been so long, Senior Snappy. You might be surprised. I don't remember everything that happened. So
it's been a wild
It's
ride,
been
though.
a long time, but I guess since since my gold ticket just got washed out to sea, and I've got other gangsters there, I feel maybe a little cornered. So yeah, I feel like some dialogue might have to happen now at this point between the gangster and Kyle, now stuck in the middle of all this.
I'm swinging, dude. I'm going after Ricardo.
All right.
Thanks,
well,
dude.
yeah. Hey, Senior Snappy, thank you for another awesome script.
So good.
We do have to put all these together one time.
Just let us know when we're getting close to the finale.
We
and
don't
then
have an ending yet.
I know.
Yeah.
We need to know when the ending's coming. So that episode, we give them the whole
shebang. Yeah. All right. Senior Snappy, God bless you and thank you for.
See you in Thunder Alley soon, my man.
And yeah, we'll be seeing you very soon. But we go out of Ask Boltfam with one of our favorites, Jeeves.
The D is silent.
Who asks
freaking silent
the question.
So silent.
Hey guys, I did it. I made the app. Check it out. You start the app and you just talk into it and it projects the voice you pick. Watch. Okay, motherfucker. I'm sick of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Get it? It's Samuel Jackson. Okay. What about this one? Here we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah, Vital, Mr. Baby. Yeah, it's loaded with thousands of voices and even some random ones. Oh my God, this app is like the shit. It's totally just amazing. Even my poodle loves it. Don't you, Fluffy? Wait, a what? I guess we could try it. Sounds kind of weird, but okay.
I'll be back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chill out, dickwad. Come with me if you want to live. Yeah.
See, you can do whatever. We're going to be so popular. Let's try Mickey Mouse as Sam Jacks asking a random question. Okay. Oh, boy, motherfucker. Oh, boy, motherfucker. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. Oh, here's a motherfucking question. What is, for each of you, your Mount Rushmore of Charger coaches? And what is your Chargers coaching dream team? Head coach, OC, DC, and special teams. Oh, feel free to mix and match. For example, Marty was a head coach, but he was also a DC as well. Okay, that's enough of the app for now. Pretty cool though, right? I mean, I'm calling it Wool Doggin. No? Yeah, well, I'm still working on it. Whatever. I'm out. Oh yeah, and the Raiders. Okay, love you, bye.
Tour de force.
That was so good.
Tour de force. Holy shit, dude.
Oh, Jeeves. So good to hear you back.
Wow.
Buddy. Always love having you on. All right. Great question, though. Mount Rushmore of Charger coaches. We normally hear what's the Mount Rushmore of Charger players, but Charger coaches.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother ball of wax.
Sure is.
One that I am not prepared to answer.
I think it's kind of easy.
Yeah.
I think you do Don Coryell
as the OC.
As the
OC.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's the offensive
I think it's
genius.
the best, and then we can kind of narrow it down from there.
Okay.
But here's my 3. It's that. It's Bobby Ross, obviously, because he took us to the Super Bowl.
Sure. So what would Bobby Ross
and then
be?
Shoddy.
Bobby Ross, head coach, Shoddy, DC.
I think it's and then you have I think that's the easiest route. It's the special teams that you don't know, right? So Don Coryell is your OC, Schottenheimer's your DC.
We don't want Schottenheimer to be special teams. Weren't we amazing in that year? We were shitty. I'm thinking of a different year, actually, a different coach. Sorry, I digress.
So we've got Coryell as OC,
yeah,
Schottenheimer DC, Ross is the head coach,
yeah.
special teams.
Then, who cares? Just pick one.
Anthony Lynn.
Pick somebody.
Let's put Ryan Ficken.
He's got the youth. He's excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go old school. Let's go with who was the first coach? It was Gilman, the first coach of the Chargers, Sid Gilman. He'd be 180 right now. That'd be fun to see.
What about you go pick Darren Bennett, get a guy that played, and he could be a coach.
That'd be cool. I'm in.
All right.
That was easy.
That was
easy enough.
We don't have the thing is our history with coaches is not great. There's
not
only
great.
There's only a handful of them that were that any good.
Yeah, there's a handful.
All right. Well, there you go.
Staley, come on. Step up. Let's get going. I want to put you on my list.
The climb to Mount Rushmore is not that high. Let's get there, dude.
It is not an arduous journey. You can do this.
You can do it.
All right. Well, there you go. Mount Rushmore of coaches for you, Jeebs.
Jeebs, I missed you, man. I'm so glad you're back.
So
dude.
glad to have you
I know
back.
the season's gonna happen when Jeebs is in full back with every episode.
When Jeebs comes out and sees his shadow, then you know you're in for a good season.
Yes.
So. All right, Jeebs, thank you for asking the question, and thank you everybody for asking questions in Ask Boltfam. You are the reason these episodes are 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So thank you, and I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
God, camp, have fun. Whoever's going to camp, have fun.
Yeah.
Make sure you go hook up with the brisket broads and see if they have any patches.
You might be surprised that they've got 3. So,
and they're not just going to give them away. You have to answer.
You have to answer the question. They're not. They can be very stern when it comes to,
and they might make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah,
it's happened to me before.
But they're gonna build you up before, like, oh, you'll get this, and then they'll tear you down.
And then they'll rip you down. But then they'll
How many touchdowns did Phillip Rivers throw in his rookie season?
Yeah, and then they'll smile at you and give you a hug, and then you'll be okay again.
Yeah, and be like, all right, I didn't get the patch, but okay.
You walk away, head down.
All right, and if for those that are going to camp, be safe.
Yeah. Hydration.
Stay hydrated. It gets hot for sure.
So hot right now. Yeah.
And have fun more than anything else. Get some pictures, get some autographs, have a great time. But that's going to do it for this episode of Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Ricardo.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey, Trey, what do you got there?
Just one of the new Pipkins Humble Pie.
Pipkins Humble Pie?
Yeah, it's the new pie from the Pipkins brand.
What flavors do they have?
Powdered blueberry, lightning lemon, and my personal holiday favorite, pumpkin spice.
Can I have a taste?
Nope.
New Pipkins Humble Pies. Tasty pies you can really cover your taste buds with.